Temple of Professional Passport ran a knowledge session at Recruitment Live all about supply chain compliance. I caught up with him straight after his presentation. Crawford, great to see you at Recruitment Live.
Thank you.
You've just done a session all about supply chain compliance.
Yep.
What key points were you getting over to the audience?
The key things are, with all the changes in legislation that are now happening and have happened this year, and the reporting requirements that come in from April next year, it's important that recruitment companies ensure they're dealing with compliant providers and have processes in place to assess those providers, because when they make the reports to the revenue, if their lists show that they're using providers that the revenue wouldn't deem as operating compliantly, then there's a whole series of potential risks and liabilities that they could pick up. Secondly, we were talking about the end client's view, because many end clients are now worried about brand and reputational risks. And so they're beginning to have more conversation with the recruiters now that they understand that the recruitment companies are going to be telling HMRC on the workers they're supplying to them. So from a recruiter's perspective, there's a huge opportunity to go out to the end clients and explain to them how they can help the end client lessen those risks, reputational and brand risks, and ensure that there's added value put into the supply chain. We're offering that service to support the recruiters now and the end clients working with them jointly.
And what are the key risks here that are involved?
There's risks around the offshore employment intermediaries legislation and the onshore employment intermediaries legislation that came in this year. And the other risk from the end client perspective that a lot of people haven't picked up on is senior accounting officer rules and the due diligence requirements within those. And the revenue customer relationship managers are now talking to end clients about what they're doing under those rules to ensure supply chain compliance. So they're coming at it from both sides. And whilst the end client hasn't got a financial risk, their risk profile, reputational and brand is very significant. And that's the Starbucks effect, isn't it, from what happened there?
Now, obviously you're saying that you can offer professional help to recruiters to overcome this, well, what is a growing issue now.
Yeah.
Why is it important they do this properly?
Because there's now transparency. The reporting brings complete transparency. So if you're not doing it right, within 5 minutes of submitting your report, the revenue will absolutely know, and that's a list that you don't want to be topping. What we do is, one of the difficulties in the sector is I don't actually believe it's that easy for a recruitment company to go into a provider and assess the compliance. And the whole point of Professional Passport has always been, we'll go in and do it completely, and we go and live with the provider and make sure they're doing everything aligned to what the revenue's guidelines are, and then the recruiters can rely on our checks.
And it's a case of recruiters concentrating on what you do the best and bringing the professionals to do the rest, basically.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, Crawford, that's great. A show like Recruitment Live, why do you think it's important, to the recruitment industry to come here, learn, and do some key networking?
Well, I think the thing that I've got from it is that there's a lot of people that go from one session to another session, so I refer to other sessions. So the questions that I get in mine, I know, for example, that APSCO were running a session yesterday, that some of the questions I was getting in mine, I was saying to people, actually, you need to go into this fringe. So actually, recruitment companies can come here, they're key personnel, they can walk around the fringe events, and they'll get all of the information that they need in the right way from the right people, and it doesn't cost them. If they engage their legal advisors or anything to do that professionally, sat around the boardroom table, there's a lot of money involved in that. So it's really added value and high quality content.